you hinted at this, and I want to get straight into this, but most of us know that food, nutrition, sleep, exercise, these are super important when it comes to weight loss. But the mindset factor is something that I think a lot of us will skate over. So I'd love if you could talk a little bit more about the mindset changes that are necessary to sustained weight loss.
For sure. And as I do that, I want to one more thing touch on fads. The idea that someone like you, Dean, who has a system in place of years of habits and general routine in place, and then to throw something new and novel on top is perfect. That's just engagement. But for someone who does not have this baseline foundational system established, their rhythms of nutrition, sleep, exercise, then a fad ultimately is not based on this the strong foundation. So this is an important architecture of how change happens, because when you're trying to lose weight, if you're currently not at the right weight and you don't have habits established, we need to work on building that foundation, and novelty can come later. These are little like hooks and ornaments on the tree, but you got to have the trunk first, and the trunk is your sustainable rhythms. And I believe fundamentally that all this stuff starts with mindset, because what we're doing is we're managing behaviors, hopefully over the rest of our lives, that are trending in this healthier direction. And that means that we are managing emotions, we're managing thoughts, we're managing our relationship to certain kinds of things. So the first thing we do inside our Fit Father program, before we even give you the meal plan or the workout, is we actually go through a fairly extensive reflection and journaling exercise to help you get super clear.
Yes, it is. It is extensive. I've gone through it. I wanted to see what it looked like.
Yeah, it is extensive. And the reason it's extensive is because what we need to do is actually create positive neuro associations with the new life we want to create, and actually just get very clear on the fact that this change that we want to make is going to cost us stuff. It's going to cost us in terms of our time investment to this. It's going to cost us potentially financially with buying different kinds of foods or equipment. It's going to cost us with just generally the hardness of the times where we're feeling like, oh my gosh, this is so hard as we're making a change. So we get very clear on the cost. We get very clear on the massive benefits that would happen if we change. And we kind of do a little bit of this carrot and the stick. We do some future casting. Like, what's life going to look like if you don't make a change in 5-10 years? And like really make that a real reality, because the human psychology has a bias where we don't really realize like impending danger that happens like 10 years from now. We're good at reacting to immediate threats. And so if we can actually start to pull some psychological levers and see that our current path is actually not sustainable, and it actually is leading us on like a crash course that's going to negatively impact all areas of our life that we care about, outside of just our aesthetics, how we look, how we feel, but how does it impact our ability to provide for our family? How does it impact our feeling of congruency with ourselves, like mind, body, spirit? Some of these deeper reflections are necessary because we actually crystallize these into a written mission statement. And the reason I did this in the program is because I saw some early research, and many have probably heard of like the Harvard Goals Study, where basically they track people who graduated from Harvard. Those that wrote goals crushed it. Those that did not crush it nearly as much. So my thought is, like, when we're trying to lose weight, there's a lot of initiation energy that needs to happen. So let's write a 30-day mission statement and actually put some commitment and some emotive power behind that. Because losing weight and getting a new healthy lifestyle, like analogy I like to use is like shooting a rocket into space. Like, it requires a ton of energy in a short period of time to break through inertia, to get out of the atmosphere. And then once you're kind of cruising and you're up out of there, it's a lot easier. You have this kind of positive momentum building. So in the first 30 days, we need to get very deep, make deep connections on why health matters, and write that into a mission statement. And you went through the exercise. I'd be curious to see like what your experience was with that. Also knowing that you're a man who has a lot of these things like figured out, but I'd be curious to hear your process of the reflection that you went through doing our program.
Hope you enjoyed that. Click over here if you want to watch another clip from the podcast. If you haven't subscribed, click over here to subscribe and check out full episodes on any major podcasting platform, full video episodes on the Better Man Podcast YouTube channel.